The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Generations Radio, where the focus is on our seniors and their families. We are here each Saturday afternoon from 5 until 6 p.m., bringing you resourceful information with our radio team of professionals in the field of aging. Stay with us for the next 1 hour as we explore different ways to make life more exciting and meaningful for our extraordinary seniors. Right here on AM 690 The Answer. And now, here is our host and the publisher of Generations Magazine, Percy Ihara.
Welcome to the show again. This is Percy Ihara, your host here every Saturday afternoon from 5 to 6 and Sunday from 3 to 4 here on AM 690 The Answer. And we've talked about caregiving many times. We had many home care companies come on the show. And for the second time around, we have Interim Healthcare, and we're here with Cindy Lee Meiers. Welcome to the show, Cindy.
Thank you, Percy. Thank you so much.
And what is your title and role with Interim Healthcare?
I'm currently administrator over at Interim Healthcare. We opened up actually about a little over a year ago, and over the last 9 months or so, I've been there.
Okay. And so you're the marketing person, or
I'm
you're
actually the administrator.
Okay.
So
Administrator?
pull the team together. Basically coming in together with my team. I have people from, of course, I've got my client service representatives, the people who go out and talk with clients and potential people who are interested in our services, all our caregivers, whether it be a CNA, a companion, or nurses.
Oh, so you folks have nurses as well?
We right now, actually, one thing that Interim does do, in addition to the home care side, we also have a staffing component. And at this time, our staffing component is using our nurses to go out into facilities and help other facilities out. The future, as I mentioned, we are a fairly new company. And the future, as we go through our state licensure and become a home health company, at that point we will be adding in all of our nurses.
Well, you're new to Hawaii, but you're a big nationwide company.
We are. Actually, Interim's actually opened, they were founded in 1966.
1966?
1966.
Wow.
And
got to be one of the first.
they were the first.
Oh, they were the first?
They were the
Oh, wow.
first. And it started off more family-based. People who were very involved in long-term care, and they saw the need to keep their family members at home. Huh. And over the years, it went from something small, merged into other companies, and now we're not just in the United States, but we've gotten partnerships going with other companies throughout the world. Huh. So we're actually connected across the world. But one thing I've actually, with Interim, is yes, it's the large company, and we bring all the experience they bring to us and all. It's amazing. But at the same time, we're actually a franchise type setup.
Okay.
So rather than everything being on the mainland, run by people on the mainland, all that, instead it's local. Okay, our owner actually lives on the Big Island. They have been there since 1987, actually. Really? And so we're very much localized, everyone always loves that little thing that Hawaii's a little different.
Right.
Okay, we are not the mainland.
That's
okay,
right.
I've been here since back in the high school days, and we are different, and we have different ways of dealing with family, dealing with care of our family members. Yes. We are much more, our kapuna, our loved ones, we are there for them, and that honor and respect we give them is something that, yes, it's seen throughout the country, but it has a special part in our hearts here in Hawaii.
Special aloha spirit. So what does make what difference do you guys bring besides your wealth? I mean, being up first, I mean, just your wealth of experience is enough, I would think. But what are some of the other differences?
Well, one of the things that we did here is our owner is very much into more of the holistic type of health and trying to make a person looking at everything around them. One of the programs he's actually bringing in that we're working on right now is a way to get people out of their house. Many of our seniors are kind of shut in.
Yes.
So
So
we're
much, especially in the home care industry.
exactly the reason why they need the home care is because no one is there to help take them out many
Right,
times.
right.
They can't drive. So the bus idea is actually a way to be able to take people who need to get out, take them on a drive to the North Shore or to Sea Life Park, relive some of those memories that are going on.
That is really interesting. I like that, and I'm really trying to get into that holistic kind of a mentality as well.
I think it's important. We're all so much more than just the health side of us.
And
There's
taking
emotion.
medications.
You got it. We're mind, body, spirit. The other side, though, is myself. I come from a nursing home administrator background.
Right.
I actually went to the University of Hawaii School of Public Health and have been in long-term care here, oh boy, since 1990.
Well, you opened up one of the.
I
opened up
actually,
several properties.
I was actually lucky enough to be on the team to open up Hialani Care Center over at Kahalanui.
Honolulu, yeah.
So worked with the gentleman, David Loop, who was their executive director, and opened up the healthcare side, so the assisted living program, nursing home program, and what was at that time one of the first dementia specialized facilities. We had one floor, and they still do to this day, that specializes in dementia care. And that was actually one of my first times being in the nursing home field, assisted living field. I've seen many areas that we are seeing more and more people with, for example, dementia. It's starting to affect many, many more people, and we're recognizing it quicker and quicker now. So I've tried to, as I've come into interim, look at things slightly different. Look at one of the things on the holistic levels, looking at the whole person, everything around them. Well, dementia, for example, is such a huge number of people in the state, and it doesn't just affect that one client, resident, it affects their whole family members. And having staff that I could then train, work with my team members to develop caregivers who truly understand the approaches you take with someone who has dementia, who doesn't want to, for example, take a bath, or something. How do we get them to do those little things that are so hard at times, or just help them with their own emotions going through the process?
You're so timely because last week we had Pamela Ani from the Alzheimer's Association, and she was talking about those issues. And so it's nice to hear you guys. I mean, that besides, I mean, you do all kind of forms of care, but that you really have taken a deep dive into the Alzheimer's dementia area, which, I mean, you're the first one I've heard of being so committed to that disease.
It's something that became more and more important over the last few years. I was lucky enough to help open up Manoa Cottage Kaimuki a few years ago, and we decided, the medical director at the time and I and the owner talked and decided Hawaii, it was a small building, 27 beds. We really needed to look at doing a specialized dementia facility. So that just kind of added
They're
into
one of the few,
that.
right?
One of the few, and that have on a nursing home level. We have some assisted livings out. We're starting to get it at the facility-based level now, where dementia is being looked at and the problems that come with it and the challenges. What I saw as I came into interim a couple months ago was this was one area as I went out to other nursing homes to find out what they needed from us on a home care level or talk to families. That was the one thing that kept coming back is, I don't know how to deal with mom anymore. I'm having to unplug the stove every day when I leave. Okay, all these things that are happening.
Hide the keys of the car.
You got it. Yes, that's it. So looking at that, we're lucky enough to have a couple people on the island who are they're certified dementia practitioners and can train others to do that.
I've never heard of that term. Is that a doctor or a nurse? Or
It's actually can be anyone. It does not have to be a nurse or a doctor. The people that I know right now are nurses, but they're able to go out and teach anyone. For example, myself, I'm using that as a way in interim to give our staff a career ladder also. Many of my staff that come in as companions. They're not CNAs yet. We're looking at ways to help them become a CNA if they want to. Or if they're a CNA, become a certified dementia practitioner and expand their knowledge, because many times they really want to help. They're in this caregiving business for a reason. Yeah. And if they can find those tools on how to do that, it makes the difference for them.
Well, according to the Alzheimer's Association, the number of people in Hawaii that have Alzheimer's dementia is going to double in the next 15 years. Mm-hmm. Double. So what is the term now? Certified dementia?
Certified dementia practitioner. And it's actually comes through there's a company through the mainland that does actual certification. We kind of joke around afterwards. You can put the initial CDP behind your name and everything. But basically what it is doing is they've realized across the United States now that dementia is such a big issue. Wow. We can't it used to be dementia was Alzheimer's and that was it. Now we're realizing dementia, there's so many different types of it.
Right.
And there's actually differences between where you live and the types of dementia. They're actually being able to say, okay, in Asia, they're seeing one type of dementia, where in the United States, they're seeing a different type.
Do you know why that is?
There's a lot of discussion on it. Is it food related? Is it genetics?
That's a good point, food, because
Yep.
Different parts of the world have different kind of foods.
Exactly. And that's what they've actually found, probably more along environment, because, for example, when people have come from, say, Japan or China, if they were living there, they're seeming to get one type of dementia, yet once they come here, slowly it starts changing, and you see the people who've transplanted over here are coming up with more dementias related to the West.
And it could be also as well as the kind of healthcare is available as well. I mentioned this before on a show that a few years ago, University of Hawaii did a study on aging Japanese that live in Japan versus Japanese living in Hawaii, Chinese that live in China versus living in Hawaii, Filipino, Korean, all above. And then all these nationalities lived better in Hawaii.
Wow.
And longer in Hawaii.
Healthcare.
And the reason why is healthcare. But here's a bigger issue. We're close to healthcare. On Oahu alone, we're only 20 minutes from any hospital.
Wow. Yeah.
Or in any other country, you're talking about up to a day away from another hospital. So that is really critical for your heart strokes, cancers, all these other issues. And it's so prevalent that we understand the issue of dementia. I think that's a smart move. So this is the certified dementia practitioner. Is that like a course you take over time?
It is a course. You actually have to go through the classes with the teacher. After that, there's, of course, your little tests that you have to take, and then you belong to the association that puts that test out. And so there's definitely a lot out there where people are, even here in Hawaii, we're starting to look on the true dementia side. The government's putting together the task force to really look at dementia. We're trying to figure out what we can do, how we can support people, because as I said, it's not just the patient. Many times it's the loved ones who are dealing with the stress of not just now having to deal with mom or dad and the changes in them remembering things or being able to do things. It's the caregiver stress that comes along with that. And guilt.
So let me know when the next course comes up. Is it something a family member could take?
Actually, the course itself, you need one of the trainers. And the trainer would put together a class, and when she's able to get enough people, she's able to go ahead, get that class set up exactly how many people she can have at that point. So, the whole idea of doing a dementia program like that is to get more and more people able to talk to others with dementia, help spread the information about it so that they can move on further and take care of their loved ones. Family would definitely, if it's something they're interested in, I could definitely see where a family member would benefit.
That's something you might want to bring up down the road. In a magazine as well, because I would like to look at the course, because I have a couple of family members right now that have dementia. Mm-hmm. I've had several of my friends that are caring for their parent have dementia. So I get calls and emails, and when I see people at the golf course somewhere, they always approach me, and it's something that I want to have a resource. So that's a great resource, great information to know about, and we can put it in Generations Magazine as well.
Yes.
As you know, everybody out there listening, that every year we do an Aging in Place workshop. This year is Saturday, August 15th at the All-in-One Hotel. And this year we are going to feature Alzheimer's and 3 major topics in the big room, as I call it, the hibiscus room, which fits about 250 people. So they are going to be the featured topic, besides the legal, the financial, the caregiving, the healthy aging topics there. So mark your calendars, August 15th. But I mean, so all your caregivers are trained in how to
All of them
care
go
for
through.
training?
Yeah, one of the things that I've really enjoyed working with Interim is they have this program on the computer called, website, our Learning Center. And this is something that actually all of our employees have access to. But beyond that, we can grant it to our family members of our clients.
Oh, wow.
And
Cool.
it's amazing. In fact, I've opened it up to my mom the other day, and my dad's actually also, he just had an amputation, so we're kind of going through this whole thing ourselves, and he's doing wonderful. But it helps her. She can go on there and see what's going on. Okay, what is prognosis about having to, what do you deal about with amputations and prosthesis and all. But one wonderful thing with the Learning Centers, there's a couple hundred courses on it.
Really?
And their
Wow.
webinars, all sorts of stuff.
Give me access to that. I want to get
You
access to
got
that.
it. You got it. You got
I'm
it.
always
Just
looking for
give me it.
information.
I'll get it to you.
I just want information and have it at my fingertips and refer it out, because
That's it.
I'm not the expert. I just know a lot about a lot of stuff,
Yes.
but I'm not an expert, and I want to be able to give those resources. So, yeah, please do.
I think that's what helps family so much. Many times I think all of us, especially as adult children or loved ones of someone who is needing help, many times we feel a little helpless because we want to do everything in the world for the person we love. But sometimes between work and our own knowledge, our ability, we've got kids running around the house, things like that, we're unable to really meet our own goal for ourselves. And sometimes that education is what helps. Yeah. If I can go on to the internet and do a Google search or something like that on something, all of a sudden I feel
Empowered.
a little bit, yes.
Knowledge is power. I believe that. It's funny. At the age of 30, I realized knowledge is important. I really took it to heart.
Yep.
Because I don't know if you know who the guy. His name is Ken Dykewald. He's a national leader in our aging field. He started a thing called Age Wave 30 years ago. He's before his time, and he spoke at the National American Society on Aging a few weeks ago. And I listened to him speak. I wasn't there, but I can go online and watch it. But he talked about how this is the new frontier. It's been around for a while. We call it a silent tsunami of caregiving. But he brought up the term new frontier because really we're in a crunch time now. Mm-hmm. I think that we were in the first, second quarter, third quarter. The fourth quarter is coming up, and it's here. And Alzheimer's dementia is so huge. And if you want to stay in your home, who's going to care for you? So that's great that you offer the resource to family members. Is there a cost to that at all?
No. Oh, wow. Actually, one of the things we try to do pretty heavily is one of the biggest concerns that come up whenever you talk home care, nursing home care, whatever, is cost.
Right.
I mean, it can be very prohibitive at times for people. And we talk about, have long-term care insurance or this or that. But we also realize not everyone's able to get that stuff or doesn't get it in time. We've tried to do what we can to keep things as affordable as possible. Some of the things that we do, for example, Learning Center is something free. Our scheduling software and stuff is free to families, so they feel that control of being able to see, okay, what's on the schedule, who's going to be here what day.
You have a scheduling software for
We actually have a website people can go to and say they want to know, because sometimes say you have a caregiver, a client who wants care 24/7. Unfortunately, you can't always have the same person 24/7, so you have multiple caregivers. So it's really, it's helpful for them to be able to say, okay, you know what? I want to know who's going to be here tomorrow night because I need to plan something out. So it gives them that extra bit of knowing that they have a hand in everything that's going on, being able to come back to us and say, you know what, I'm having issues with this or whatever. Can we talk about it and put them into play? Some of the other things, though, that we've put into play, one of the things, as I've talked to many hospitals, nursing homes about what are the biggest problems they have when someone needs home care and isn't able to join in with it, it comes down to finances. So we actually put in place a couple months ago, it was a 2-week program that we've actually made permanent now. For every new client, the first 20 hours of services are 30% off. And
Wow,
that's
great.
always. Now, it was a temporary program, but we found a lot of times that's what people need is we know mom needs help, but mom's like, oh, no, I don't need help. I don't need any help right now. So, or it's too expensive or that. So if we can bring people in for a short amount of time, many times that'll get through that cost area for them. Because many of the people of that generation are very, very focused on the finance side. They know that money doesn't last forever, and they want to keep track of all that. So we've worked trying to make sure that's all there, making sure that there are things for the family members. That's one thing that we've actually tried to focus on very heavily is that our clients are not just that one person. It's the family. We have many that we actually take care of both mom and dad. Mom may not need any help whatsoever, but we're there with both of them. Yeah. And it's helping out mom as she's trying to take care of dad. So mom still feels that sense of, I'm doing all this stuff for my loved one. And yet she has someone there to help support her, whether it be cleaning the house, which is something our caregivers do. We'll do the light housekeeping thing. In fact, my mom just signed us up, actually. She knows dad's coming home, and she's not going to have time to do a lot of stuff around the house.
Well, they have you.
There you go. Don't tell them that, please. And also, but yeah, so it's having someone come in. They don't need the help as much on, oh, I need help with cooking. Getting a bath or something like that. What they need help with is, can you help me with running some errands? Can you help me with making some dinner for tonight, or housekeeping, cleaning the bathroom, things like that. So it's coming in and not just looking at the health of that one person, but the whole family and what the family needs.
Yeah, that's so important. You know, it's with the growing amount of seniors. In fact, our June-July issue coming up is going to be featured the sandwich generation, where our baby boomers are taking care of the kids, and then we're also taking care of our parents. So Pamela, actually, Ani from the Alzheimer's Association, is going to talk about her experience with long-term caregiving for a grandmother who had Alzheimer's. Oh, I didn't realize that she raised her.
Wow.
We have one on the rural side of the Molokai. One of my classmates is going to talk about caregiving for her mother who has Alzheimer's. And then we have Michael Yee, our financial advisor in the magazine, that talked about his role as a caregiver, tag teaming with his brother and sister to care for his mother who had 2 heart attacks and a stroke.
Oh, wow.
So it's something that, you know, your field of home care is so good. You're going to be so crucial. And because I don't know about you guys out there listening, but I can't take off work to take care of my mom and dad. I'm sure if push comes to shove, we would.
We would.
But obviously, that's not our first choice.
No, you got it. Every one of us would do anything to be there with our parents.
Yeah.
And it's not always possible the way you want it to be. So it's finding the other ways that you can work as a team with someone else who can help you reach that goal.
Yeah. But as our population grows, isn't that like I tell my friends that you're caregiving for your mom and dad because your mom and dad did not have a plan for long-term care. And I get it. You know, people didn't think about they're going to live that long. Not in 10 years ago, I know there wasn't as much information about caregiving and long-term care. But today, it is on everybody's tongue and everybody's conversation. It's interesting. You know, you guys are younger than me, but how many times that after, you know, going to dinner or I'll play a softball game or a golf tournament, we'll start talking about, oh, by the way, how's your parents? You know, how are they doing? And then you hear the story comes out, oh, yeah, I'm taking care of them. I can't do this because I have to go to the market every Sunday. I have to cook dinner every Saturday.
Yes.
My chore is to wash the clothes every week. It's just on and on and on.
Something kind of changes at some point, and people joke around with me that all of a sudden it's like, wait, things have changed around. Now I'm taking care of Mom and Dad when they used to take care of me, and there's a lot of changes that occur emotionally even within that. Okay, a lot of I'll be honest, arguments pop up within that. I'm Mom, I'm Dad. You should, and it's something that all of us have had to go through and are going through, and it's
And
working
will go
with each
through.
other, and will go through. And by working with each other and talking to each other, that's the key to everything. Like you said, if we all talk with each other, what worked for you, what worked for you. That's why I love the internet. I could go on the internet and ask questions, okay, how did you get through this? And I get some wonderful answers. And it's the same, even among our office, we talk all the time about, oh my gosh, how are you handling this right now with your auntie or something? It's kind of changed as things move on. That sandwich generation's getting it right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get busier, and it's so important to understand how to deal with that stress. Do you folks have like a respite program as well?
Yes. We actually, one of the things that we do have is we only have a 2-hour minimum to begin
That's
with.
good enough.
And many other home cares, because of the staffing side of it, want 4 or 5 hours. We have taken it down to 2 because sometimes the respite a person needs is just some time to go shopping.
Right.
And but on the other hand, we'll also take it up to 24/7 caregiver. We've had a couple people that we will take care while they go to Vegas. We'll take care of Mom for a while. We actually recently, a little slightly different from the respite side, but we had someone who wanted to travel with their family, and they wanted to take, Dad with them. So we actually set up something where one of our caregivers actually flew with them to the mainland. And they were with that person throughout the whole time, able to do everything. So Dad still lived an enjoyable, he got to Vegas. And also,
be kinda
hey,
expensive.
you got it. You got it. So there's so many ways, and it's just talking with what is it the family needs to be able to get what they need out of it.
We're here with Cindy Meiers from Interim Healthcare. Cindy, great stories, great information. I love the fact that you guys you're being trained, your caregivers are being trained in dementia care. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
We will be right back with Percy Ihara from Generations Radio. If you have any questions or want to be part of our discussion, give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. This is Generations Radio on AM 690 The Answer.
This is George Kennedy for Interim Healthcare. I'm 86 now, and I consider myself one lucky guy. I cherish life, and I try to get the most out of it. And if I needed a little help, I'd count on Interim Healthcare. They help folks live independently in their own home. Need a little help? Why not give Interim Healthcare a call?
Interim Healthcare. When it matters most, count on us. Call us at 1-800-338-7786 or visit us at interimhealthcare.com.
Over 10 years ago, the Plaza opened their first assisted living facility to serve the growing need of Hawaii's senior community. Since then, they've made it possible for thousands of families to stay connected with their loved ones in a true home-away-from-home setting. Now, a decade later, there are more reasons than ever why Hawaii seniors and their loved ones choose the Plaza Assisted Living. Maybe it's the flexibility of monthly rental apartment living, or the comfort of knowing that the Plaza offers independent and assisted living, memory care, even short-term respite care. Options to serve each resident's individual needs. What's reason number one? The Plaza Assisted Living feels like home. And they're going to be opening the newest plaza in Pearl City very soon. You could make your deposit today. Come, see for yourself. Call and schedule a free tour at 377-5292. That's 377-5292. Or visit us online at theplazaassistedliving.com. theplazaassistedliving.com.
Simplify your life by opening a My Social Security account. What's My Social Security? It's a secure online account that allows you immediate access to your personal Social Security information. During your working years, you can use My Social Security to view your Social Security statement, to check your earnings record and see estimates of the future retirement, disability, and survivor benefits you and your family may receive. If you receive benefits, you can get a benefit verification, check your benefit and payment information, change your address and phone number, and even change your direct deposit information. Open a My Social Security account today and simplify your life. Just visit www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount. While you're online, check out all the other things you can do at www.socialsecurity.gov.
Today, more than ever, we local people are living longer than any other state in the Union, with more seniors, baby boomers, and caregivers. Generations Radio promotes the importance to be proactive as we all age. The radio team will focus on issues facing our seniors and their families, finding resources to navigate healthy aging along with financial, legal, and caregiving information. So join Percy Ihara from 5 until 6 each Saturday, right here on AM 690 The Answer. Focusing on the issues facing our seniors and their families today. Here's our Generations Radio host, Percy Ihara.
Welcome back to Generations Radio. I am Percy Ihara, your host every Saturday from 5 to 6 and Sundays from 3 to 4. And as well, we always mention this, you can always go to our website, generations808.com, and listen to all our past shows on Alzheimer's, on caregiving, on elder abuse, on just simply aging and how to finance long-term care. And we're talking about home care today with Cindy Meiers from Interim Healthcare. And Cindy, if I didn't tell you earlier, or maybe I did mention it earlier, our June, July issue is going to talk about caregiving, and more so specifically sandwich generation of the baby boomers taking care of the parents and baby boomers taking care of the children. Because I have met, I'm amazed at how many people I meet at our Aging in Place workshop. Mm-hmm. We'll have 60 and 70-year-olds or 70-year-olds saying, I'm here for my mother. Like,
yes.
Wow. That means your mom's in her 90s. Yes, my mother's 98. Yep. I got a call from one of our cover people a couple weeks ago saying, I need help, Percy. It's 7:30 in the morning. My mother needs skilled care needs. And she's 98 years old. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, and this person is in their 70s. Like, wow, I can't even fathom that. My parents were in their 80s, but this person's in their 70s, and they have to deal with their parent in the 90s. And I told this person, I said, yeah, I think your mom's gonna live another 5 years. Yes. I mean, she's so mentally strong.
That's it. Yes.
I mean, mobility issues, yeah, but so mentally strong, and that's such a big issue. So. Thanks to Pamela Ani from the Alzheimer's Association, who's going to share her story. My classmate Lori from Molokai, who's talking about her mother who has Alzheimer's. And then Michael Yee, our financial advisor, talking about dealing with his mother who has had 2 heart attacks and a stroke, a knee replacement, a hip replacement, and lives by herself.
Oh, wow.
That's
awesome.
88 years old.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That is awesome.
So resilient. In fact, I heard a term the other day in a meeting about how we call it, we want to remain independent. That's true to a certain extent. But people out there, I think you got to look at interdependence, because we need to work together with other people, other resources. And yes, we want to be independent, but we have to realize, and hopefully your parents will start realizing that you're going to need help.
Yes.
And you're going to need resources, and we all need to work together. So it's really, really important. So look out for the June, July issue. It'll be out about the first week of June. It also features our spreadsheet of the 9th Annual Aging in Place Workshop,
nice.
Which will have 18 presentations in the morning, and then we play it in the afternoon. And as mentioned earlier in the show, the big topic is going to be on Alzheimer's. As you guys know, this number will grow in the next 15 years, and every family is going to start dealing with it. So, Cindy, I'm glad that your caregivers and your people and your staff are being trained. Now, and you have a great resource library as well that you're going to give me, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. I'll pull up my phone right now and get you an email. And
yeah, I mean, I tell everybody, all my friends, you got to equip yourself.
You got it.
You know, there's no really school you can go to. You can go on the internet, but I think workshops. I think meeting people, talking to people about the disease, let alone just home care.
Right.
Right.
I know another thing that we've actually been in the process of putting out is if listeners go to our webpage, they can actually supply us their email address, and we have a weekly newsletter that goes out by email.
So your website is Interim Healthcare?
It'd be www.interimhealthcare.com/Honolulu.
Oh, you got it because you're a franchise.
We are a franchise, so you have to have the /Honolulu.
Okay.
And the email goes out once a week and has some wonderful stories. Okay, many of them educational. We throw in a couple things to let you know if we're going to have a bus tour coming up or any specials or a guest speaking type thing. If we know of there being any special workshops like the Aging in Place workshop and all, we'll be putting all that into the newsletter. But on top of that, you get some really nice stories about everything from the financing of long-term care to the dealing with the stress of being a caregiver. This is specifically out for family and caregivers to help them with everything they're going through.
Wow, that's a great resource. So, guys, interimhealthcare.com /Honolulu. Their number is 951-0949. Cindy Meiers with Interim Healthcare. And I don't want to wait to the end of the show. You told me about the special, and you hear it first on Generations Radio. I have never seen this offer before, so I hope not to put pressure on other home care companies, but your special. Tell us the special now.
Oh, okay. As I mentioned before, we have always at all times a 30% discount for the first 20 hours for everyone. That happens all the time for everyone. However, right now we do understand how hard it is sometimes to take that dive and get your family members to take that dive. One of the things we have decided to do at this point is for the first 5 people who can call our office, again 951-0949, let us know that you heard about us here on the radio show today. We will give you 50% off of your first week of services.
I'm putting it in my phone, making a note myself. 50% off. Wow, that's an awesome.
You got
50% off first week.
First week, 50% off your first week.
Wow.
And
That's
it's
a great
actually, that's one thing our owner, myself, the whole team, we know how much these services can help the clients. But so many times money becomes an issue or talking someone into it becomes an issue. Finance, while yes, we know it's always going to be an issue, it shouldn't be an issue when it comes down to our health and taking care of the people that we love.
Well, we only have a certain amount of resources, though, to pay for long-term care.
Yes. That's one of the things we deal with every day, whether it's nursing home, assisted living, or home care. In fact, right now I'm dealing with it with one of our clients who has been with us actually for about 6 months. And as time goes on, we all do spend down our money. It's part of having...
Well, voluntarily or involuntarily.
Exactly. It's happening. And also, we try to work really close with our clients as we see all that happening, trying to find other routes for them. Do they have long-term care insurance? Some do, some do not. We talk about something I know you're very interested in, which is the reverse mortgage. Yeah. It's something that's very much out there for many of our people in Hawaii.
Well, the main thing is, and I've said this before, is that they want to stay in a home. That's why the workshops that we do is aging in place, because reverse mortgage is just one of the options. But they have to realize home care is going to cost money.
Yes.
And yes, you can spend down, and yes, you can want Medicaid. We have one of the best Medicaid programs in the country, but it's also not. I couldn't say it's the best care.
Right.
I mean, be a realistic, gang. Medicaid is not the best care.
Right.
So I'm glad you guys offer the special 50% off for the first 5 callers, 50% off for the first week.
For the whole week, yeah.
For the whole week.
For the whole week.
The whole week. So if you spend. Wow, some weeks can cost you.
Depends how far you want to take it at that point. I mean, I'll be honest, someone may decide, I need 24/7 care for that week.
Wow, 24/7 care. So What is a full day like that? Can we just
Right
ballpark
now-
it? I don't want to hold you to any figures. But.
Well, actually, our rates are pretty much when we have a CNA going out, so someone who's needing a little extra care, it's a $24 an hour charge.
That's pretty standard, though.
Yeah, exactly. If we can get you in with a companion, someone who does not have that CNA, I actually have a $20 rate for those.
Okay.
So we kind of try to work. That's the other thing we work out with the families is can we figure
level
out
of
how to
care.
keep that
Yes.
level of care down at that other end.
Yes. I mean, people got to realize, they say, why is it expensive? It's expensive because you're talking about specialized care,
Yep.
right? From a companion to a CNA to maybe a nurse.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's going to go up as those things move. So what we can do with trying to work with the family member I was talking about, we're actually sitting down with them right now and trying to work as a family meeting with us sitting there. How can we work out the care, the hours, whatever, to help the money work out for them? So in some cases, one family member said, you know what, I can help a little bit with Auntie, okay, money-wise. While another one's like, you know what, actually, I think I can come over Thursday and do this. So still keeping the home care in place, but trying to work as a team to come up with a solution so Auntie can stay home, which is where she wants to more than anything else. That's
what
she's
90%
been.
of people want to do.
Exactly.
And actually, about 90% of people are going to have to do because we don't have enough nursing beds. I don't know if you know, we have less than half the national average of care home beds. We have a lot of Filipino care homes and other care homes around on the island in the state, but it's still by far not enough. But the biggest component is we don't have enough caregivers.
That's something we're seeing more and more actually right now. I was actually meeting with a bunch of social workers from a nursing home yesterday, and we were talking about years ago the issue was actually nurses, finding nurses, and that's still there, and it kind of ebbs and flows, all that. But what has surprised us is the number of CNAs that it's been harder to find. Years ago, finding a CNA for a nursing home or a care home, no problem at all. Now, CNAs are getting much harder to find. So I know us ourselves within Interim, that's where I'm looking at some of my companions. And some of my companions actually are more knowledgeable than most of your normal CNAs.
They just haven't been formally trained.
Yeah, as one of them said to me, hey, Cindy, why do I want to go paying all this money to become a certified nurse aide when I do the same exact amount of work? I know everything that they know. Why do I need the piece of paper? And you know what? When you're providing care, it's about the care that's given, not necessarily the initials behind the name or something.
Right.
And that's what we actually do. As new caregivers come in, whether they're CNA or companion, they do go through testing. We do the normal stuff. We do background checks, random drug tests, all of those things. But the other thing that we do is as we hire people on, we are looking and assessing their skills. Whether they're a companion, I want to see exactly what those skills are like. Do they have the skills that could take them up to being able to treat? Do they understand how to do lifts, transfers, things like that? So we do that, and we do it consistent. Once a month, we have our meetings where we can do other in-services, things on that level.
One of your questions I wanted to ask you is, families are dealing with the stress whatever way they can. For our listeners out there, what is there a best way, right way, what way to handle stress?
Stress is probably the biggest issue that we deal with when we're going out to people's houses.
Every day.
Every day, yeah. It starts, the reason why they're calling us is stress. Okay, if they've most of the time the family member has been sitting at home trying to figure out how to do this for mom and dad themselves. For how long, and they're realizing the stress is affecting work, it's affecting their family life, all these things, and they've gotten to a point where they're like, I need the help. Yeah. And many times at that point when they're calling us, that's the first step. There's things that we can do, whether they sign up for us or not, that we look at. Sometimes the stress is as much as just knowing, is the house safe for mom and dad? We will actually go out, even if they don't sign up for us, we will go out to their house and do a home safety assessment, walk through
That's
the
so
house. Yeah, it's even my own house. My brother and I, Dad's going to be coming home from rehab in a couple weeks, and we're going through the house right now trying to figure out, okay, let's see, we need to lift up this carpet here.
Is he a wheelchair?
And he just had the amputation, so he will be a wheelchair for a couple months until he can get.
Hopefully all your
for
doors
that.
are wide enough where you have to
That's
renovate.
the other fun bit, yes. And all of a sudden realizing, hey, wait, there's a 90-degree turn to get into this bedroom here that I didn't ever really think about before.
Well, what
And
about the ramp, first of all?
there you go. There you go. And knowing actually one thing that we found out that was huge help for us is, in my case, my father's a veteran. The VA programs, I knew many of them just being in long-term care, but I didn't know some of these that I'm hearing about now are truly amazing for the veteran if you can get know what's out there. And that also becomes something else that we bring in as we get this information. I'm already going out to the veterans that I know on our clientele right now and like, okay, have you ever looked into this now? There's grants for this. What about that? But yeah, no, stress is working with the family. Once we connect with that family, whether there's services or not, and this is something I've pushed pretty heavily, I don't care if the services are given in the end. I want to help that family. That's the way things are in Hawaii. It's, okay, we are here to help each other out. And if it's just talking to them, helping them understand back to dementia. Okay, I'll never forget a family member came up to me one time and was like, Cindy, I am really worried right now. Am I going to get dementia? Mom has it. Does that mean I'm going to get it? As we started talking more and more, I realized a huge amount of her stress was actually tied to this concern that she at age 60 was really worried that she herself was going to come down with what Mom's going through.
Stress can cause that. Diet can cause
You
that.
got it.
I don't think definitively we can say it's relatable or hereditary, but I think as Pamela Ani from the Alzheimer's Association was mentioning last week, that early onset could be.
Could be. Yep. So I think that's a lot of it is just listening. When you've got stress, listening and talking to people, reaching out to people. Very important, whether it's home care or the Alzheimer's Association, or if it's something like cancer. We deal a lot with people that have cancer or they're going in for surgery or something. Reaching out to there are people out there, and you don't have to be having a midlife crisis to reach out. It could just be you need a couple answers to some questions. I've actually utilized the internet for stress relief because, like you mentioned earlier, knowledge is power, and power sometimes helps you feel more comfortable and in control of everything going on around you.
Yeah. I don't know if KCC still does those caregiver classes because I know they've had some change in leadership over there, but I'm glad that you guys have those resources on your website. What happens when you have a senior that needs really specific fragile care or when you get older?
You got it. One of the things that we've been doing lately is, as I mentioned, we're in the process of becoming licensed as a home health agency. That's something you have to go through the Department of Health for. So in the meantime, I've wanted to make sure, for example, we have clients that have been with us for a couple months and they are progressing in a disease process or something and are needing services that may actually be going into more of the health side rather than just home and personal care. We do have relationships with a couple other agencies, and we work hand in hand with those agencies to provide those services. So many times what we'll do is if something's happening, we will go talk with the family, find out what services are needed. If it's a physical therapy type thing, do they need more IV-based things? Tube feeding is something that you see a lot more often at home than you used to. Pressure ulcers.
But tube feeding, who administers that?
That many times you have people actually coming home from the hospitals with tube feeding now. So many times the families trained to do it. There are within the hospital. So as you're going home, the one thing I always tell people, and actually ties into stress again, is as you're being discharged, it's important for you to speak up for your loved one.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have
you've got to know if they're sending you home with something and you're like, what am I supposed to do with that? You need to find out. Ask questions. We all hear that. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Just
well,
ask.
Like the family, I call it discharge management. They have to really realize what's going to happen. What are you going to do? How long is it going to be? I mean, don't ever get discharged without fully understanding what your role is.
You got it.
You know?
You got it. Because that will lead to that stress. That will lead to possibly mom or dad getting worse when they get home. Okay, and you're back in the hospital. And no one wants to be back in the hospital. They're wonderful hospitals, but no one really wants to go back there.
Cindy, great information. We're here with Cindy Meiers from Interim Healthcare. Again, just tell us about a special.
Right now, for the first 5 people who call us after this radio show and just mention the show, we will be giving 50% off of your first week of services.
So if somebody has 24/7 care, you're going to get 50% off of that?
That can count up.
Wow.
That can count up.
Wow.
And but we want people to be able to see what truly can be done for them and help them out. Okay. Our phone number, 808-951-0949. And for everyone else, okay, no matter what, at any time, there's the 30% off of your first 20 hours. Try
That's great
it out.
just to try it out. I think it's really important. And you're interimhealthcare.com/Honolulu.
You bet.
So check them out, guys. Great information, Cindy. I appreciate it. You got to come back.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you folks in the future. They will be in our June-July issue of Generations Magazine. I also want to mention in that June-July issue is the Aging in Place workshop, the big spreadsheet of all the different topics. And the big topic is going to be Alzheimer's dementia this year. And I didn't realize we're on social media, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn, Percy Ihara. But I didn't realize you have to like our Facebook page. So like our Facebook page, Generations Magazine. Just find that out. But anyway, thank you so much, Cindy. I appreciate it. Like I said, you can listen to all our past shows on generations808.com. Just go to our front homepage and you'll see all the past recordings on the front of the page. So as well as every issue is on there. And you can go back to our first issue with Kirk Matthews, who I'll be golfing with tomorrow. My buddy Kirk. Anyway, thank you so much, Cindy. Again, appreciate it.
Thank you, Percy. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here every Saturday from 5 to 6 and Sunday from 3 to 4 here on AM 690 The Answer. We'll see you next week. Take care. Live well.